sometimes I feel like I have to do something, but I just feel so tired. I have no energy to do anything. But when I go traveling, I meet people. I heard someone's story or someone. Because of my story, I inspired to someone. I think that's the meaning of traveling.
Geez, I put someone who is so famous to wait for 3 hours with me. And I felt really bad, but she was actually really friendly and she didn't mind. So the two of us were just waiting, queuing, chatting about life, and together we went up to this, the top, and we took pictures together.
Jing 人生，
人生要好好经营。
Welcome to the live talk. I'm Jing.
And I'm Agnes. Yeah, actually, Jing and I are big travelers, and we met in Melbourne, where I am in. Jing is actually in Canada at the moment doing her working holiday. So we're big travelers. Somehow we met in Melbourne as hosts and workawayers, and that's how we met. So and after some time that we spent together, we just found that we both have the passion to share our experiences, not just about travel, but in life general. So we decided to put together this podcast to talk about different topics, and we welcome you guys to bring in any comments, anything that you are interested, or if you've got any questions, we are more than welcome to answer them. So today, let's dive into our topic. We're going to chat about traveling.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to the next. So first, what makes you love traveling so much, Agnes?
Wow, that's big. That's actually huge, because I think I grew up from traditional Chinese family. I'm from Hong Kong originally. Both my parents are quite traditional. In some sense, they are a little bit more controlling. They don't want you to do this and that. And because of that, after some time, I think I have been suppressing my feelings, and I just wanted to go out. So that's one energy that my motivation is to, okay, let's go and see the world and do something fun. So I think that's the inner emotions that have built up, and after that, since I came to Melbourne to study, I'm free, and I decided to use any extra times to explore the world. For myself, I'm very interested in cultures, in people, and I love cooking and food a lot. So one big reason is to explore the world. And I think through traveling, I got to meet a lot of new people, new things, even though there are times that are really challenging. But
yeah.
Now looking back, I really treasure those moments. Yeah. What about you, Jing?
Well, I think so. Me, I originally from Taiwan, and where I grew up, I feel like I didn't really like traveling before I start go overseas, because I would say in Taiwan, because we are like just one nation kind of. Most of people, they are just like local people. We are not in like Melbourne or in Canada. People are quite people are diverse and multicultural like that. So I would say in this culture, we are a little bit kind of like narrow-minded. So people just focus on themselves. But I don't know why. I feel like people love go traveling so much. But I would say some of them kind of like show off how they go traveling, and in my generation, they post on the social media. So I was like, oh, they kind of, they look so fun. I also want to, kind of show off, show people I'm able to go traveling as well. I feel that way, but didn't really enjoy traveling Wait, I wouldn't say enjoy, like, didn't have like desire to go traveling. I would say that way. But like I say, we are like kind of like one nation in Taiwan. So I feel like, am I gonna spend all my life just in Taiwan? I watch like movies or listen some like Western music. I have a desire to see and experience Western culture. So in like a few years ago, I feel like, oh, I should stop maybe just 1 year, like a gap years. So many, European young generation, they are in their early 20s, or even after high school, they go overseas to explore this world. And I would say, oh, what if I just stop a year my career in my lifetime? It doesn't matter at all, and then so I went to New Zealand, and that was the beginning. And I met so many people. I feel like, oh, this world and the people I experienced and I met are like so much different. I never experienced that way. So that's the reason I stopped love traveling. I feel like when I'm on the road, I can, like you say, it's kind of like get out of your comfort zone, because when I in Taiwan is, it's my comfort zone. So sometimes I worry too much. I feel like, oh, I don't want to do this. And then I just don't. But when you go overseas, go out, people will say, oh, come on, Jing, let's go do this, let's go do that. And you kind of like people, well, a little bit pushing, but also like encourage you to do something you never done it. And most of the things were fun, but some I still feel like just once in a life, I'm not going to do that ever again. But that was the beginning. I feel like this world are so much different than I thought, and then I would love to explore as much as I can.
That's very true. And that is why we just hope that our podcast, when we're talking about traveling, that we can inspire our audience to really step out of your comfort zone. If you have been thinking of traveling and still hesitate doing some solo travels, or even just trying to plan a trip, we want you to see the beauty side of traveling, despite all the challenges. We both have been there, so we just want to encourage you to give it a go. Yeah.
Wow. So we were saying, like, kind of like how do we start our traveling? Then let's talk about our unforgettable moments. What's your unforgettable moments?
Wow, there are heaps actually. I think every travel is like an accomplishment of my life. So, but there are little moments that I really treasure and cherish. One of them is when I went to New York by myself. It was back in 2004. I was studying in LA. And then there was a little term break, and I decided to take a trip to New York. So when I landed at the airport, I saw someone who is very familiar to me, and to many of you as well. I'm not sure whether you know there's a model. Her name is Qi. Do you know her, Jing?
No.
No, that she's a model, now a wife of an actor. So Qi. Really, you don't know? Okay. So when I was back in Hong Kong, during summer holidays, there were quite a few years that I worked part-time at the backstage of fashion shows. So I helped models to get changed, and our position was called dressers. Okay, so I was a dresser. Yeah. So, and I always help a few really famous models to get changed and, redress again to their new outfit to go on the catwalk. So Qi is one of them. So when I landed in New York at the airport, just waiting for our luggages, and I just saw her, and I was like, hey, long time no see.
Wow.
Yeah, so what's happening? Why are you here? So, and she told me she was there for a short business work trip. She's going to record an ad for Michael Kors perfume, if I remember right. So, so we had started a chat. I was on my own originally, so just to explore New York for a few days, but ended up via chatting. She said, well, I'm just alone as well, and there are some free time that we might be able to explore New York together. It's her first time to visit New York as well. So I said, of course, yeah, nice, that would be great. So what happened was she had a driver. She booked a driver. So from the point from the airport back to the city, we were on her booked private car, and then we went to the Empire State Building next day.
Wow.
Do you know, in New York, Empire State Building is one of the iconic sightseeing places. The queue to get up there to the top was like a 2-3 hours wait. Wow. And I thought, wow, geez, I put someone who is so famous to wait for 3 hours with me. And I felt really bad, but she was actually really friendly and she didn't mind. So the two of us were just waiting, queuing, chatting about life. And together we went up to this, the top, and we took pictures together, had lunch and dinner just to spend a really great day. So this is one of the really unforgettable moments of my trips.
I would appreciate that if I were you. Yeah.
You never know, like really coincidentally, you encounter something that you very unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for me, I feel like, because I kind of doing solo traveling, most likely. And there was once I went for a run. It's like a trail run, and I drive to there and, just park in a parking lot, and I went for a run. And because that was like my first time like when for running the area, so I didn't really familiar about the trail. It's like a forest, sort of that. And then I was lost, so I went to the wrong way, and I came out. I know I went the wrong way, but I couldn't remember how to get the same way back to the parking lot. And so I just ran out of the highway, kind of like highway, in New Zealand. And well, I was thinking, how can I go back to parking spot? And I was thinking, should I just do like a hitchhike? Just sum up your just raise your hand and do a hitchhike. Like, can anyone just drive me back? Because if you drive it will be really, really close. Maybe 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. But I just feel, I didn't have encourage to. I didn't have the courage to do that. And then there was a lady just drove by, and actually she drove it a different way. So I walk out, I walk forward, and she was on the other side. So she drove past me, and she stopped. She say, "Hi, how are you? Do you need a hand?" And then I was like, "Oh my God!" They kind of saved me, because if she didn't stop, I think it might still take so long for me to really have the courage to ask someone for help. And then I said, "Yes, please. I was lost." And she just drove me back the other way, back to the parking lot. And they were so kind, so nice, and so friendly. I did really, really appreciate that lady. And I feel like I say, if in my country, everything is so convenient and it's so familiar. So I think I wouldn't have let myself to experience that situation, that experience. So everything is kind of like under control. But for that experience, it's not exactly out of control. I can, if I want to, I can just run back to the parking lot. But sometimes that you accept someone's help. It's also like not easy. for me, my personality. But that was a great experience to know, even you don't know each other, but you can still help each other. And that was a moment I feel I was not alone. Yeah, so that was one of unforgettable moment during my travel experience. Well, there's a lot more on my traveling. Yeah, but this one is really unforgettable moment. Yeah.
Some really grateful moments. I think sometimes we should not be afraid when we encounter problems, because there are really so many good people out there who are willing to help and really nice to strangers. And when we are always afraid of getting into troubles, when we didn't see the other side, that good things might be coming to your way, God might be sending angels, and we should actually really looking forward to some good outcomes. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like there's just something come on my mind. For example, I was trying to do a hitchhike when I was in New Zealand, and I don't know, I just feel I was so scared. I was standing there maybe just 5 or 10 minutes, maybe even less. But I just feel like, oh, no one stopped for me. So I quit. And I was like, okay, because by the time I am able to buy a ticket for myself instead of doing hitchhike. But I want to, experience hitchhike in my life. So that's why I was doing that. But I just feel like, oh, yeah, I feel so weird, feel so like embarrassed, standing there and then no one stopped for me. So I quit. And then there was once I drive alone for like a couple day trip, and I thought backpackers, they are just doing a hitchhike. So I stopped for them. So I just give them a ride, and I feel great.
That's great. I just... there's a TV show that reminds me so much about my passion in traveling. It might be one of the big stimulus. That there was a show called Amazing Race. Have you watched that before?
Amazing Race?
Yeah, so it's a TV show. I think it's two people they pair up. They can be friends, they can be family members. So they register themselves two in a group, and they compete each other, so different groups of two, and they receive missions, and they have to open the mission that and they have to follow each step, and they might have to fly to another country, they might have to do a bungee jump, do different activities, different tasks, and who at the end got to the final point will get $1 million. I have been following that show for ages, and I was, every time when I watched that show, I pumped. So I was really I wanted to be one of those contestants one day, because I would love to do that, all the things. So what I did was I travel with my two kids.
Yeah.
And to make things fun, I would always make, tasks for them, and they might get rewards. So I would do our own family amazing race to different countries, and at different locations we'll be doing different things, and my kids can earn rewards, whether they will get money or they will get a gift. That will be something that I think once we finish, it's a big accomplishment, and we make a lot of good memories.
Yeah, of course. I love that idea. Yeah, it's really good. I feel like, well, if on my networking, like I feel like most of my maybe families or friends, they don't do this parenting to their kids. So this is a really, really good idea and thoughts. Yeah. I really admire this. Yeah.
To be honest, I think traveling is the best education you can give to your kids. And to myself as well.
Okay, I agree with that, but I think majority of people just feel, it's so tiring to take your kids go traveling. So they just, they would rather just stay at home.
Yeah, that's very true. But creating memories are something that will last for a whole lifetime.
Yeah. Totally.
And I truly agree that when my kids are out in a new country, they are looking after each other more than being at home. And they get the opportunity to try new things. They will have different perspectives because of the differences in culture. And even maybe we go to a country that is a more undeveloped country, and they have to adapt themselves to, less hygienic things, or more unpleasant situations. And that's something that if you just get stuck at home and, just do whatever that you normally do, you'd be in a very comfortable place and you never get to experience those, really different moments to get yourself to learn, to mature as well.
Yeah, totally. I agree. But I would say, people always worry too much before they start it. So, yeah. Well, hopefully we can inspire some people or parents if you are listening. Yeah, maybe just try, even just short trip. Well, just try it. Yeah, you never know unless you do it.
So yeah, Jing, what does traveling mean to you?
Oh my God. This is such a good question. I feel like before the very beginning, of course, you just want to have fun, meet some people, culture. But it's been traveling for 4-5 years alone. Now traveling to me, well, I feel like I'm searching for something, but I don't know what exactly is that yet. But traveling, when I'm traveling, I feel like myself so small, and I think I'm being more humble and more considerable. I will I can't stand on another person's side to think what their situation and what their experience, and also just cherish every single day I live at the moment. Well, I'm still struggle with something still, life is not easy, but when I'm traveling, I can see the possibility in life. Well, of course,
That's well said.
Yeah, you can see the possibility in your life, but it depends. Do you have the desire to take the action? Because I know sometimes I feel like I have to do something, but I just feel so tired. I have no energy to do anything. But when I go traveling, I meet people. I heard someone's story, or someone, because of my story, I inspired to someone. I think that's the meaning of traveling. Yeah.
That's very true. I think I have the same goal. Like, I want to inspire others to travel and to try a lot of new things as well. And to me, traveling means everything. In terms of everything, when we say, okay, when you look at money, there are necessity, wants, or desire. I think traveling means all three to me. It's not just a want, or it is also a necessity. And it's also my desire, because they actually fulfill all these categories to me. So of course I want to travel because I like to do new things, try new activities. But it is also a necessity to me, because every time when I travel, I have bigger perspectives of the world. I have an opportunity to do things with my children, creating memories, I think this is no longer a desire. To them, it's education. And also for me to go out to have more time to self-reflect. And I'll do some journaling. I will actually talk to myself. Okay, so my life have been up to here. What's next? Where am I heading? And also, after traveling, I just recharge myself when I'm back.
Yeah.
So to me, it's actually quite important. It's not something that is a waste of money. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
huge.
I agree. I feel like traveling it's an eye-opening journey to me, because before go traveling anywhere elsewhere, like for example, I feel like, oh, maybe like British people is cold, and like French people are romantic or something. You have some stereotype to some countries or the peoples, but when you really meet the people, they are different. I mean, well, some of people, they might still like exactly the same like your stereotype, but everyone is unique. And how can I say? I feel like I love the moment when I know someone, and you don't have to care what people look you can just be yourself. Yeah, but because before, I feel like I always worry about what people look at me, and doing something on others' expectation. I don't really care about myself. Feel like that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can be. It's more. I feel like I understand myself a lot more than before.
That's very true. When you're in another country, you can be yourself, and you just step away from your normal environment and just relax and become you at that moment. And I remember this book called The Power of Now as well. We shouldn't be delaying things to do. Any time is a good time to travel. We shouldn't be leaving it, when I retired. So talking about in your 60s or even 70s to start traveling. I think that's way too late.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we always worry about something, like I don't have money, and well, like when you have money, like you say in your 60 or 70, you have money, but you probably don't have enough energy to travel around.
Yeah, you don't have your health.
Yeah, totally. There's so many ways you can traveling. You don't need to have a huge money. You can traveling, like be a volunteer or whatever. There's so many ways to travel for now, this generation. Yeah. So, well, even now, I mean, I have some experience. Sometimes I also feel tired, and I was like, okay, just give me a break for like a couple of days or couple of weeks. But I won't stop traveling, because like I say, you never know when you're going to experience on your traveling. You met a good people. Well, sometimes, of course, you still met the bad people, but I think we would love to remember all the good peoples and good things on our traveling. Yeah. So that makes me feel like traveling is so meaningful in our lifetime. Yeah.
I think traveling at different age will give you different perspectives. So we shouldn't be waiting till late, because say if you travel in your 20s, you experience, say, a backpacking trip. So you
Yeah.
experience as a backpacker, and maybe you're a little bit later, you want to do a working holiday, and that's another experience, and you are a little bit more mature, and you have more, perspective at that age. So it's like a collective journey of collecting perspectives. And now, in my 30s, you might be traveling with young kids, and that's actually quite a handful. You have to bring nappies, you have to push a trolley, the baby trolley. Now I'm in my 40s, and I'm taking 2 kids who can run, who can walk, who can do diving with me. So every different stage, I think it's still meaningful. So it's always a good time to go.
I agree with that.
So I'm actually looking forward, perhaps in my 50s or 60s.
I haven't gone that far yet, but well, let's see.
Not too far for me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, yeah.
But I think there are a lot of things that we can do to help the world now, having traveled more. When I talked to a friend yesterday about going to Africa to do some charity work, I think that's really meaningful. And you have to be tough. Really, you have to be very tough in order to help people in third world countries. So this is something that with experiences and with more, I think, passion and compassion, then you can do better volunteer work as such. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But so before we finish this today, I think for me, I would definitely inspire, encourage you go traveling if you can. But if not, that's still okay. You don't have to live. You don't have to be like, oh, because they say, oh, everyone should go traveling and you go because of others. You should go because you really want to, but, like I say, I would definitely encourage you go out, not exactly like your comfort zone, but you will experience something you never experienced in your life. And I believe this is really good. Yeah.
Well, shall we end our podcast here today? But we would really like you to tune in again for our next podcast. We might be chatting on traveling, or we might be chatting on something else. But stay tuned, and thank you for joining us today.
Well, see you next time.
See you. Bye.
Bye.